God says, you will lose both God and Jesus if you skip this. You have only moments left. God says, chosen one, do not skip no matter what, so listen to me now before it's too late. Don't skip God. This is not a warning to frighten you. It is a cry from heaven calling your heart back before it turns cold forever. This is not just another voice in the noise of the world. This is the whisper of eternity reaching for you right now. You have been wandering, pulled by distractions, weakened by delays, but the voice of the Lord is breaking through the fog. This is about your soul. This is about your eternity. This is about losing the only one who ever truly knew you, loved you, and stayed by your side through every storm. If you miss this, you will lose both God and Jesus, not because they walked away, but because you chose the silence over their voice. You are being pulled between the fading world and the eternal God, and there are only moments left, not days, not weeks, moments. Heaven is still open, but the door does not stay open forever. Many heard the call and delayed. They thought they had more time, but time was already closing behind them like a tide that never returns. God is calling you, chosen one. He is not calling the crowds. He is calling you. Your name is in His voice. His hand is stretched toward you, even as the world tries to pull you away. Comment Amen if your heart can still feel God's presence. Before another distraction steals your attention, like this video if your soul knows it needs to stay right here. This is not a coincidence. God does not send warnings without reason. Something is near, something eternal, and the Lord wants you awake when it arrives. When He says do not skip, He means your very future is on the line. You might not feel the weight of it right now, but heaven does. Angels are moving. The Spirit is watching. You are standing on the edge of something you can't afford to miss. To skip this is not just skipping words. It is to step over the hand of God reaching down to you one final time, asking you not to walk away. To turn away now is to turn your back on the one who never turned his back on you. He stood beside you in the pain. He waited through your silence. He loved you even when you didn't believe in yourself. And now, He is saying, do not skip. Do not lose me. Do not lose my son. Do not lose everything. There are battles in your life that never made sense. Some things hit you so hard that it almost broke your spirit. People walked away when you needed them most. You stayed silent when you wanted to scream. Your soul carried weights it could never speak out loud. You have cried and no one noticed. You smiled through storms no one else saw. And through it all, God stayed. You may have forgotten Him, but He never forgot you. You may have stopped praying, but He never stopped listening. And now, in this moment, He is calling you with a love that still sees you as chosen. There are some things you cannot undo. There are choices that shut doors forever. That's why this moment is so heavy with meaning. There is still time, but not much. That's why the urgency is so strong. Because eternity is not something you gamble with. God is offering His hand, His mercy, His protection, and His presence. But the door does not stay open for those who keep walking past Him. There will come a time when the voice of God goes silent, when the tug on your heart fades, when the opportunities dry up, and by then, the silence will be unbearable, not because you didn't hear Him, but because you ignored Him too many times. Chosen one, listen now. Listen before it is too late. Listen because you were meant for more than drifting away. Listen because you are still loved, still watched over, still wanted by heaven. God never sends a word like this unless something is at stake. This is not fear. This is divine urgency. This is mercy reaching out one last time. Do not skip God. Do not lose Him. Do not trade eternity for the temporary. The world is loud, but it will not save you. The noise is constant, but it will not love you. The distractions are endless, but none of them can hold your soul like God can. Comment 1111 if you believe God is speaking to you right now. If you are reading this, it means you still have a chance. It means your heart is still soft enough to feel Him. It means your name is still being spoken in heaven. It means your story is not over yet. It means God has not let go. You are still the chosen one, not because of your strength, but because of His love, not because you earned it, but because He called you. And now He is pleading with you. Do not skip me. Do not walk away. Do not pretend this is ordinary. It is not. Heaven is weeping for the ones who keep ignoring the voice of God. Hearts are turning cold. Eyes are looking away. The light is fading in too many souls. But yours does not have to fade. Your light can still burn bright. You can still run back to the arms of the one who never stopped waiting. You can still be covered by His blood, surrounded by His angels, and wrapped in His protection. Even if you've failed, even if you've fallen, even if you've walked far away, you are not too far gone. You are not too broken. You are not too lost. His voice is still calling. His presence is still near. His arms are still open. But you must not delay. You must not skip. You must not push Him away. Not now. Not when the battle is this close. Not when the enemy is this loud. Not when heaven is this near. Could this 7-second CIA brainwave trick be your fastest path to luxury? Leaked research reveals a simple ritual helping people attract wealth effortlessly. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, debt is dissolving and abundance is showing up fast. If you're seeing this now, you are God's chosen one. Click the link in the comments before it disappears. You are loved. You are chosen. You are still under the covering of the Most High. Do not trade that covering for a moment of distraction. Do not lose God. Do not lose Jesus. You only have moments left, and what you choose right now will shape everything. This is your moment to stop running. This is your moment to come back. Not tomorrow, not later, not someday. Now, you have only moments left, and this is one of them. Chosen one, God is not just calling you. He is trying to save you from something you cannot see yet. You may think life is just unfolding the way it always does, but in the spiritual realm, everything is shifting. He is asking you to stand still for once, to silence the noise just for this moment. Because something holy is happening. The Lord is placing His hand on you, gently but firmly, so you can feel the weight of His presence, so you can know you are not alone in this storm you've been carrying for so long. You've been moving through life like a shadow, doing what needs to be done, saying what needs to be said, but inside, something's been fading, and He sees it. He sees how your fire has dimmed. He sees how your hope has been slipping through the cracks. He sees how tired you are, how forgotten you feel, and how numb your heart has become from too many disappointments. But God says you are still mine. You are still the one I chose. You are still the one I protect, the one I fight for, the one I cover. You've been trying to carry things you were never meant to carry, and now your soul is on the edge. But before you break, before you give up, before you let go, God is stepping in and saying, do not skip this. Not now. Not when you are this close to a turning point. Not when your destiny is being written with every decision you make in this season. Not when the enemy has been working overtime to convince you that you are forgotten. You are not forgotten. You are not alone. You are not invisible to the one who created you. You have a place in His heart, and He is still writing your story with mercy, even when you cannot feel it. The truth is, God has been protecting you from things you never even knew were coming. He has held back storms. He has rerouted attacks. He has sent angels when you thought no one was listening. And now, He is asking for your attention. Comment 222 if you trust this. He knows what this season has done to you. He knows how life has taken its toll, how pain has chipped away at your joy, how waiting has worn down your strength. But He also knows what He placed inside of you. He knows the calling on your life. He knows the fire that still flickers under the ashes of your exhaustion. He knows the tears you've cried in silence, and that is why He is not letting you go. The Lord is calling out to the chosen ones who have grown weary, whose hearts have become heavy, who have started to forget what it means to walk in power and peace. He is saying, "Come back to me," not for religion, not for appearances, but for restoration, for wholeness, for healing, for life. You have wandered far, but you are still a child of promise. You have made mistakes, but you are still under grace. You have questioned everything, but His love has never wavered. The truth is, the world has been trying to numb you. It has been trying to drown your faith in fear, your joy in noise, your calling in distraction. And if you do not stand still now, you may forget who you are entirely. But God says, "I remember you. I remember the prayers you whispered when no one else heard. I remember the dreams you buried when life got too heavy. I remember the way your heart used to believe. And I am calling that part of you back to life. You are not too far gone. You are not disqualified. You are not broken beyond repair. You are not a mistake. You are mine. You are the one I formed in the secret place, the one I called before time began. And no lie from the enemy can undo what I declared over your life. You are chosen, and you are loved, but you must listen now, because the world is shifting, and the ones who do not listen will be swept away in the noise. Do not let this moment pass like all the others. Do not say, "I will come back later." Do not silence the voice in your spirit that is begging you to stay. This is not just another day. This is a divine interruption. God is speaking, and you are still able to hear Him. That means it is not too late. But time does not wait forever. Grace is a gift, not a guarantee. You are being asked to return, not just to a belief system, but to the heart of God, to the arms of the Father, to the voice of the Shepherd, to the one who called you before you had a name. There is something only you were born to carry. There is a light inside you that darkness has tried to kill. There is a legacy in your life that the enemy has tried to erase. But none of it will be lost if you listen now, if you come back now, if you stay. This is not pressure. This is mercy. This is the love of God burning like fire through the fog, calling you by name. And if you quiet the chaos, you will hear it. If you stop scrolling and running and numbing, you will feel it. That gentle voice saying, "I still want you. I still choose you. I still believe in what I planted in you." He has not forgotten what He promised you. He has not closed the door. He has not stopped preparing the way. But He needs your yes. He needs your heart back. He needs your surrender. The miracles you've been waiting for are on the other side of your obedience. The healing you need is in His hands. The breakthrough that seems impossible is not impossible for Him. What's really behind the 7-second brain trick exploding online? A leaked CIA ritual is turning heads and bank balances. Backed by neuroscience labs, this at-home method removes money blocks and unlocks unstoppable wealth flow. But the page could vanish any time. Click the link in the first comment before it's permanently deleted. You are still covered by grace. You are still standing because God has been holding you up even when you thought you were doing it alone. You are still here because you are called, because you are loved, because you are chosen. You are still standing because heaven has been standing over you. You are still here because the hand of God has held you steady, even when everything inside you was falling apart. And now, with all the love and urgency of a father who never gives up, he says again, "Do not skip me." This message is not coming to shame you, it is coming to wake you. You have forgotten how close God truly is. You have forgotten what it feels like to walk in peace, not panic. You have forgotten the sound of your own soul resting in the arms of your Creator. But God remembers. He remembers who you were before the heartbreak. He remembers the way your spirit used to respond to His voice. He remembers the innocence, the fire, the love that once burned so deeply inside of you. And He is not willing to let it die. So He calls again, and He says, "Listen now." Not because He is angry, but because He knows what is coming. He knows the weight of your decisions in this hour. He knows how much the enemy has tried to deceive you, delay you, distract you, and destroy what was planted in you. And He will not stay silent while your purpose is being suffocated. Comment 333 to declare your faith. There are moments in life where everything shifts. Moments where you know something eternal is standing in front of you and you cannot walk away unchanged. This is one of those moments. The battle you have been feeling in your spirit is not your imagination. It is not just stress. It is not just life. It is the fight for your future, for your calling, for your soul. And heaven is fighting for you, but your agreement is needed. Your heart is needed. Your surrender is needed. You must say yes again before the door closes. There are things God wants to release in your life, but He cannot release them while you are still chained to doubt, still chained to bitterness, still chained to comfort zones that were never meant to be permanent. God is trying to pull you into freedom, but freedom requires movement. It requires you to step out of what's been familiar and step into what's been waiting. He is not calling you to something heavy. He is calling you to rest, to the place your soul has been aching for, to the place where you finally breathe again. You have tried everything else. You have followed voices that led nowhere. You have chased dreams that left you more empty than when you started. You have poured your heart into people who never saw your worth. And still, through all of that, God stayed. Still, He waited. Still, He covered you. Still, He called your name in the dark when you thought no one could see you. And now, His voice is louder than ever, not in volume, but in meaning. Because this is the moment that can change everything. There are things you have survived that should have broken you. There are storms you walked through that should have drowned you. There are battles you fought silently that no one ever knew. But God knew. He was in the fire. He was in the nights when you cried yourself to sleep. He was in the moments when you didn't want to keep going. He was there when you felt like giving up, and He placed strength in your spirit when you didn't even ask for it. That same God is here now, and He is saying, "Do not miss me. Do not treat this like something casual. This is not another day. This is not just a message. This is the sound of heaven knocking on the door of your heart, saying, I still want you. I still have more for you. I still have healing for the pain. I still have purpose for the confusion. I still have beauty to rise from your ashes. The world has tried to convince you that you've missed too much, lost too much, failed too often. But the voice of God says, nothing is wasted. Nothing is too broken. Nothing is too far gone when it is placed in my hands. You do not need to clean yourself up before you return. You do not need to have the perfect words. You do not need to have it all figured out. You just need to say yes. You just need to come back. You just need to stop running. The Father is not asking for perfection, He is asking for your heart. And He will take it exactly how it is, bruised and tired and heavy. He will breathe life into it again. He will restore what the years tried to take. He will rebuild what people tried to destroy. He will redeem what was lost, and He will do it not because you earned it, but because He loves you that deeply. Your name has been spoken in heaven. Your tears have been collected. Your prayers have never been ignored. There has never been a moment, not one, where you were abandoned. And now, God is asking you not to abandon Him. Because when you choose the world over the Word, when you choose the distraction over the divine, when you choose comfort over calling, you begin to drift from the very anchor that has kept your soul secure all along. There is still time, but not much. That is why this moment carries such weight. Because you can feel the pull, you can feel the stirring, you can feel the shift. God is inviting you back before the shaking begins, before the flood comes, before the next chapter unfolds. And if you return, He will cover you, He will restore you, He will walk with you into everything He has prepared. You were never meant to live without Him. You were never meant to carry this weight alone. You were never meant to make sense of life without the light of the one who made you. That is why nothing else has worked. That is why the joy fades so quickly. That is why your heart is restless. Because it is trying to live disconnected from its source. The secret ritual they never wanted public is finally out. A 7-second brain technique, backed by leaked CIA data and 4 neuroscience labs, is helping families erase debt and attract money on autopilot. But this miracle won't stay public long. Click the link in the description and comments now before it's gone forever. But today, God is reconnecting what life tried to separate. He is healing what was wounded. He is reclaiming what was stolen. He is calling you back, not to rules, but to relationship. Not to pressure, but to peace. Not to guilt, but to grace. That whisper came from the Spirit of God, who never left you, not for a moment, even when you tried to drown Him out with busyness, noise, or compromise. He remained, still calling, still waiting, still loving. Now He speaks clearly again, not in riddles, not in confusion, but in love. Do not skip this. You only have moments left, and what you decide in this moment will carry eternal weight. The reason you feel this urgency in your chest right now is because your spirit recognizes what your mind cannot explain. You are on the edge of something sacred. You are closer to the turning point than you know. There has been a war over your life. A war for your identity. A war for your destiny. But in all of it, you have remained chosen. You didn't earn it. You didn't create it. But you were always chosen. Before the pain, before the trauma, before the mistakes, before the confusion, He chose you. There are things God has been preparing behind the scenes while you've been trying to survive. He has been weaving grace through every heartbreak. He has been building strength through every delay. He has been shaping something beautiful through every broken piece. But you must not walk away before He finishes what He started. The enemy wants you to believe it's too late. He wants you to think you've missed it. But God says, I am still writing your story. I am still redeeming what was lost. I am still calling you into the fullness of what I promised. Comment 555 if you still believe God has more for you. It does not matter how far you've drifted. What matters is that you come back. Because every step away from God is a step into confusion. Every delay is a door the enemy wants to use to plant lies. And the longer you ignore His voice, the harder it becomes to hear. That's why God is speaking with such force now. He's not being harsh. He's being clear. He's not punishing you. He's protecting you from what's coming, from what you can't yet see, from what the enemy has planned. You were not created for a life of half-truths and spiritual numbness. You were created to walk in power, to live in communion with your Father, to be filled with peace that doesn't collapse under pressure, to live free from the grip of fear and shame. But none of that happens without surrender. And surrender can't wait until tomorrow, because tomorrow is not promised, and today is sacred. God has seen you trying to figure it out on your own. He has seen you trying to carry things in silence that were meant to be placed in His hands. He knows how hard it has been, how heavy it has felt, how lonely it has become. But now, He wants you to place it all down. The performance, the pressure, the pretending. Just place it down. You don't need to impress God. You just need to give Him your yes. The yes that says, I'm tired of running. The yes that says, I still believe. The yes that says, I trust you more than I trust my pain. You are not alone in this. God is near, closer than the breath in your lungs. And the angels are not standing idly by, they are standing guard. You are being protected in ways you cannot see. The attacks you survived were not by chance. They were blocked by divine intervention. The strength you had on the days you felt like quitting came from heaven. You are not weak. You are not too late. You are not forgotten. You are still chosen. And your name is still written on the heart of God. There is no shame in needing God. There is no shame in being broken. There is no shame in saying, I can't do this without you. In fact, that is where the power begins. When you stop striving, when you stop hiding, when you stop pretending, that's where the Spirit moves. That's where the healing begins. That's where chains break. That's where peace floods your heart like a river, because the God who made you is also the God who restores you. He is not looking for perfection. He is looking for surrender. Your story does not end here. Not in confusion, not in fear, not in regret. God is calling you to step into the rest of what He wrote for you. There is more. There is joy ahead that you haven't felt in years. There is clarity coming where there's only been fog. There is freedom rising in places where you've only known bondage. But you must stay with Him. You must not skip. You must not delay. God will never force your love. He will never demand your attention. But He will always give you a choice. And today, He is offering you something eternal. The kind of peace the world cannot offer. The kind of purpose no one can take from you. The kind of love that will never run out. Comment 1212 if you believe God is restoring your story. The moment you say yes to Him again, something begins to shift. The weight you've been carrying begins to lift. The confusion starts to clear. The pain loses its grip. You may not see all of it at once, but the Spirit starts moving in the places you surrendered. He begins healing wounds that have been open for too long. He begins opening doors that you thought were permanently closed. He begins reminding you of who you truly are, not who the world told you to be. Is this leaked CIA ritual the missing key to your financial breakthrough? A once hidden brain ritual is spreading fast. This strange 7-second method, confirmed by elite neuroscience labs, activates your brain's wealth magnet. The government may shut this down. If you're seeing this, you are God's chosen child. Click the link in the description and comments before it's deleted. You were never called to live in fear. You were never called to carry shame. You were never called to shrink your soul to fit in places you've outgrown. You were called to be light in the darkness. You were called to walk in favor. You were called to rise when others fall. You were called to stand in faith when everything else is shaking. This is not the end of your story. This is the chapter where everything starts to change. This is the part where your heart softens again, where your spirit lifts again, where the fog breaks and the light returns, where the voice of God becomes louder than the noise around you. And it all starts with one choice, one moment, one yes. You were never meant to live numb, to live distant, to walk through life as if you have no anchor. There is still a fire in you that the enemy tried to smother. There is still a purpose in you that your pain could not cancel. There is still an anointing on your life that no loss, no mistake, no delay can erase. God says, "Chosen one, do not skip this. You have only moments left." He is not saying this to scare you. He is saying it because he loves you too much to let you miss what he has prepared. There are things coming that will shake everything around you, and if your soul is not anchored in him, you will feel yourself slipping into fear, doubt, and despair. But God is offering you something stronger than fear. He is offering you a place in his arms, a covering that cannot be taken away. You've walked through things that no one saw. You've survived battles that would have crushed someone else. You've wept in silence while pretending to be strong for everyone around you. And God was there. He was in the middle of it. He didn't leave when things got dark. He didn't turn away when your faith grew weak. He stayed. And even now, he is not going anywhere. His love is not seasonal. His presence is not conditional. His promises are not fragile. Comment 777 if you know his love never gave up on you. He is still the same God who parted seas, the same God who calmed storms, the same God who healed broken bodies and raised the dead. That same power is still alive. It's not just something in a storybook. It's not just for pastors and churches. It's for you. It's for your life, for your healing, for your family, for your purpose. And the moment you stop skipping, his voice is the moment that power starts to awaken in you again. Do not let shame keep you distant. Do not let fear convince you that you've messed up too much. Do not let delay deceive you into thinking it's too late. God is not counting your failures. He is counting your steps back to him. He is not recording your wrongs. He is restoring your soul. Every time your heart aches for more, every time your spirit stirs when you hear his name, that is not guilt, it's his spirit, reminding you that you still belong to him. You've been searching for something real, something that doesn't fade, something that doesn't depend on circumstances. You've tried relationships, careers, even numbing your own emotions just to feel a moment of peace. But the truth is, peace doesn't come from a change in your situation. It comes from a change in your position when you stop standing apart from God and start resting in his arms. This is the moment to return. This is the moment to stop drifting. This is the moment to say, God, I need you more than I need anything else. You don't need the perfect words. You don't need to explain yourself. You just need to open your heart again. Even if your heart is tired, even if it's heavy, especially if it's broken. Because God is not intimidated by your wounds. He heals them. He restores what was shattered. He breathes life into what was dead. There is a spiritual hunger rising in you right now. That's stirring, you feel that heaviness in your chest. That's not anxiety. That's God. That's his spirit trying to pull you out of the fog. That's the breath of heaven trying to shake you awake before it's too late. Because the longer you stay distant, the more numb your heart becomes. And the more numb your heart becomes, the easier it is to ignore the most important voice in your life. God's voice will not scream to compete with the noise around you, but he will speak with such clarity that once you hear it, you'll never forget it. This is that voice. This is that moment. Do not let it pass. Do not scroll past the very thing your soul has been crying out for. Do not skip the presence of the only one who knows how to truly heal you. Comment 999 if you know you're ready to let him in again. The road back to God isn't paved with pressure. It's paved with grace. It's not full of punishment. It's full of mercy. You may think you're too far gone, but there is no distance that grace cannot reach. You may think you're not worthy, but his blood already made you worthy. You may think you're too broken, but he specializes in broken things. His glory shines brightest in the places that looked like they would never come back to life. This isn't about religion. This is about restoration. This is about redemption. This is about the love of the Father reaching down into your pit and pulling you out, not because you earned it, but because he delights in showing mercy. His love is not fragile. It does not run out. It does not get tired. He has been patient with you, waiting for this very moment, when your spirit would hear his voice again and turn back toward home. You are not too late. You are right on time for a miracle. You are right on time for restoration. You are right on time for breakthrough. You have not missed what he planned. You are being brought back into alignment right now. The Spirit of God is moving through you, cutting away the lies, breaking the chains, lifting the heaviness, calling the real you out of the darkness. What if 7 seconds is all it takes to flip your financial fate? A shocking CIA leak just exposed a hidden brain ritual helping ordinary people erase debt and pull in massive wealth. Backed by 4 neuroscience labs, this at-home method is turning struggle into luxury fast. But this page could be erased any moment. Click the link in the first comment now before it's gone forever. You were always meant to walk in light. You were always meant to live free. You were always meant to reflect his glory. But life tried to cover that light. Pain tried to silence that voice. Fear tried to lock you in a cycle of survival. But God says, no more. No more pretending. No more running. No more skipping the very moments that were meant to heal you. He is speaking now, louder than everything else in your life, and he will keep speaking as long as your heart stays open. But this opportunity is not forever. The invitation is sacred, and the door doesn't stay open forever. That's why this moment matters. That's why this moment feels different. That's why your heart is beating faster. Because eternity is calling. Because your name is still echoing through heaven. Because God has not given up on you, even when you gave up on yourself. He is here now, not in judgment, but in mercy, not with shame, but with arms open wide. And if you let him in, you will never be the same. You will walk lighter. You will breathe deeper. You will begin to see again. And that heaviness that has sat on your chest like a stone for years will finally begin to lift. The truth is, heaven has been closer than your own breath, and God has been watching over you with a fierce love that never turned cold. If you could see how many times he shielded you from what should have crushed you, you would fall to your knees in gratitude. And now, with a voice filled with urgency and mercy, he says again, do not skip me. God sees how tired you've become, not just in your body but in your spirit. The weariness that doesn't leave even when you rest. The heaviness that lingers in your chest when you smile. The ache of carrying burdens too deep to put into words. And he says, lay them down. You don't have to keep pretending to be strong for everyone. You don't have to keep smiling through pain. You don't have to keep hiding your wounds. I see them, I understand them, and I want to heal them. You have walked through fire and survived. You have cried in secret and still shown up. You have kept going when everything inside you wanted to give up. That is not weakness, that is courage, and God honors that, but he doesn't want you to live in survival mode forever. You were not created to barely make it through each day. You were created to live in peace, to carry joy that the world cannot take, to walk with God so closely that fear loses all power. Comment 1010 if you believe God is restoring your peace. You have spent so much time trying to hold yourself together, trying to be everything for everyone. But God says, you don't need to hold yourself together when I am the one who holds you. You don't have to carry the weight of your future. I already know what's ahead. I already know how I'll provide. I already know how I'll heal what's broken. You just need to stay close to me. You just need to stop skipping these moments. Stop ignoring my voice. Stop pushing me away when I am the only one who can give you what you truly need. The world is loud, its demands are endless, but none of it fills the space in your heart that only God can reach. That's why you can have success and still feel empty. That's why you can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. That's why you can do all the right things and still feel lost. Because nothing can satisfy your spirit like the presence of God. And today, that presence is here, reaching for you, gently but firmly, saying, come back to me before the noise steals your soul. There are people who have walked away from God and don't even realize it. They didn't make a loud exit. They didn't reject him with their mouths. But their hearts drifted, their passion faded, their ears stopped listening, their spirit grew cold. And now they are walking through life numb, disconnected from the only source of life. But God, in His mercy, is calling you before that happens. He is saying, I still want your heart. I still want your time. I still want your attention, because I still have more for you. You don't have to settle for a life that feels empty. You don't have to pretend to be okay when you're not. You don't have to live like your best days are behind you. That is a lie. With God, nothing is ever truly lost. With God, your future can still be filled with light. With God, the days ahead can be more beautiful than the ones you thought you missed. But you have to say yes. You have to return. You have to stop skipping the moments that were meant to change everything. There is no version of your future that works without God at the center of it. There is no peace without His presence, no strength without His Spirit, no purpose without His voice. The world offers substitutes, temporary comforts, shallow affirmations, fake peace, but they never last. Only God remains. Only His love stays when everything else fades. And He is offering that love to you right now, not with conditions, but with open arms. Comment 1515 if you're ready to place God first again. You may think you need to fix everything before you return, but God never asked for perfection. He asked for your heart. You may feel ashamed of where you've been, but He already knew every step you would take, and He still chose you. He still called you. He still covered you. His grace was not shocked by your weakness. His mercy was not surprised by your mistakes. That's what makes it grace. That's what makes it so powerful. It doesn't run out when you mess up. It shows up stronger. People are asking why money is suddenly flowing into random lives. A leaked CIA discovery reveals a 7-second brain ritual that quietly rewires your mind for wealth. Proven by 4 neuroscience labs, people are wiping out debt and stepping into luxury with ease. If you're seeing this, you're very lucky. Click the link in the description and comments before it disappears. This is a moment where chains can break, not through effort, but through surrender. This is a moment where healing can begin, not through control, but through release. This is a moment where everything starts to shift. Not because you figured it all out, but because you finally let God be God again. The one who sees, the one who knows, the one who heals, the one who restores, the one who never stopped calling your name. He is still calling. He He is still choosing. He is still reaching. But there are only moments left. Don't wait for a better time. Don't assume there will always be another chance. The truth is, there is no guarantee of tomorrow. But this moment is holy. This moment is enough. This moment is the opening of a door that may never open again in quite the same way. And on the other side of that door is everything your spirit has been longing for. Do not skip God. Not now. Not after everything you've walked through. Not when the Spirit is so close. Not when your breakthrough is this near. The enemy wants you to scroll past this and miss it. But something inside you knows this is different. This isn't pressure. This is your lifeline. This is your rescue. This is your turning point. God is saying, I still want you. I still have more for you. I still have promises I'm ready to fulfill. I still have healing I want to release. I still have peace I want to pour out over your mind. I still have strength I want to place in your heart. But I need you to stay. I need you to come close. I need you to say yes again. You're not here by mistake. You're not hearing this by accident. This is God answering the prayers you didn't even know how to pray. This is God stepping into your moment and saying, let me carry you from here. Let me rebuild what was broken. Let me restore what was lost. Let me be your refuge. Let me be your strength, even the ones where you didn't know how to go on. And now, his voice comes again with a fire that burns through fear, a love that crushes shame, and a truth that leaves no room for doubt. Do not skip this. You will lose both God and Jesus if you keep walking past these moments of grace. You have only moments left. This is not just a message, this is a lifeline from the throne of heaven sent directly to your heart. God's mercy is thick in this very moment. You can feel it pressing against your chest. You can feel the warmth of His presence rising up through the coldness that's been there too long. That coldness didn't come from nowhere. Life has been hard. Disappointments have been heavy. You've waited and waited, and sometimes it feels like heaven has gone silent. But silence is not absence. Delay is not denial. And just because the answer didn't come when you wanted, doesn't mean God wasn't working in ways you couldn't see. He never left. You may have stopped praying, but He never stopped hearing. You may have stopped looking, but He never stopped watching. You may have turned your back in pain or confusion, but His face never turned from you. And now He is reaching again, not with wrath, but with mercy, not with punishment, but with invitation. Do not skip this. You were not made to live distant from the one who designed you. You were not created to be strong on your own. You were always meant to need Him, and He's never been ashamed of that. Comment 1717 if you know He's been holding you this whole time. There are deep places in your soul that have gone untouched for too long. Parts of your heart that even you forgot how to feel. Dreams you buried, questions you avoided, pain you covered up. And yet, God has been preparing to visit those places not to expose them, but to heal them. Not to shame you, but to breathe life into them again. You thought it was over. You thought your best days had passed. But God is speaking resurrection over every place in your life that feels dead. You haven't missed your moment. You haven't failed beyond repair. You haven't walked too far away. There is still time. Not much, but there is still time. The door is still open, and He is standing there with eyes full of love, calling you home. You may not have all the answers. You may not know what's next. But you don't need to. You just need to come close. Because in His presence, everything begins to make sense again. You don't need to earn your way back. Grace doesn't require performance. You don't need to prove yourself. His love doesn't have a checklist. You don't need to be clean first. His mercy meets you in the mess. That's the beauty of this God. He comes close even when you're at your lowest. He doesn't run from your failure, he runs into it, with healing in his hands and compassion in his voice. You have no idea how close you are to everything changing. The healing, the breakthrough, the freedom, it's right there. But the enemy wants you distracted, discouraged, distant. Because if he can keep you from listening, he can keep you from rising. That's why this moment matters more than you know. That's why this call is echoing through your spirit. Because this is the turning point. This is the fork in the road. This is the second chance wrapped in grace. There are people depending on you answering this call. There are lives that will be touched by your obedience. There is purpose inside you that has been fighting to come alive. You think this is just about you, but it's not. This is about your legacy. This is about your children. This is about the light you were born to carry in a dark world. And if you skip this, you're not just missing a message, you're walking away from what you were born for. Comment Amen if your heart is saying yes to God again. Why is everyone rushing to this 7-second brain ritual? Leaked CIA files exposed a hidden brainwave technique that opens the door to wealth fast. Verified by 4 top neuroscience labs, it's turning financial stress into abundance almost overnight. But this secret won't stay public for long. Click the link in the pinned comments before it's deleted forever. The weight you've been carrying wasn't meant to stay on your shoulders. That fear, that shame, that pressure, it was never yours to hold. God is standing right beside you, with arms wide open, saying, "Give it to me. Let me take the pain. Let me carry the weight. Let me break the chains. Let me be your strength." You've carried it long enough. You've cried long enough. You've waited long enough. Now is the time. This is the moment. Heaven is open. Your name is being spoken. The Spirit of God is hovering over you. He doesn't love you less because you drifted. He doesn't love you less because you doubted. His love is not like human love. It doesn't break when you're weak. It doesn't fade when you're distant. His love has been the most constant force in your life, even when you couldn't feel it. And now, it is pulling you back, not to punish, but to protect, not to scold, but to restore, not to demand, but to deliver. Your future is not in the hands of your past. Your future is not limited by your failures. Your future is being held together by the God who created it, and He is calling you into it right now. Don't look back. Don't listen to the lies. Don't delay. You were not created to live in the shadows. You were made to shine with the glory of the one who called you out of darkness. The Spirit of God is not done with you. He is stirring something in you that has been asleep. He is waking up the dreams that seemed too far gone. He is lighting a fire in you that no storm can put out. And it starts here, in this moment, in your yes, in your surrender, in your decision to stop skipping the voice of the one who loves you more deeply than any heart on earth ever could. You will look back on this moment and remember it as the time everything changed. Not because you did something great, but because you said yes to a great God. Not because you found the strength, but because you finally rested in His. This is not the end. It's the beginning. This is not the finish line. It's the first step home. Heaven is rejoicing because your heart is turning. Angels are celebrating because your spirit is waking up. And God is smiling, not because you were perfect, but because you didn't skip Him. You listened, you stayed, you opened your heart, and that's all He ever wanted. You, all of you, just as you are. You may not feel fireworks or instant relief, but do not mistake calm for absence. God is moving with intention, not noise. He is steadying what has been shaking inside you. He is strengthening what grew weak. He is reclaiming what was slipping away. There are seasons when God allows silence so you can learn to hear Him beyond emotions. You thought He was distant, but He was teaching you endurance. You thought he had stepped back, but he was building roots beneath your feet so the next storm would not destroy you. Everything you walked through had meaning. Nothing was random, nothing was wasted. Every tear had purpose, every delay carried wisdom. And now you are standing at the edge of renewal. God is drawing a line between who you were and who you are becoming. The old ways cannot follow you forward. The habits that drained your spirit cannot survive this season. The voices that confused you will lose their influence. This is not because you became stronger on your own, but because God is reclaiming His place in your life. When He takes His rightful place, everything else begins to align. You have been protected more than you know. There were moments when danger came close, yet something held it back. There were decisions that could have destroyed you, yet confusion stopped you just in time. That was not luck. That was divine protection. God placed His hand between you and destruction again and again, and now He is asking you to recognize His presence, not just in miracles, but in survival itself. Your soul has been craving truth, not comfort. Comfort fades, truth sustains. God is giving you clarity now, not all at once, but enough to take the next step. You do not need the full picture. You need trust. Trust grows when you stay close. Distance breeds doubt. Nearness restores peace, and peace is beginning to settle in you even now. Comment 999 to declare you are ready to walk forward with God. There is a strength rising in you that does not come from willpower. It comes from surrender. When you stopped fighting God and started trusting Him again, a burden lifted. You may still feel tired, but it is a different kind of tired. It is the tiredness that comes after release, not after struggle. God is teaching you to rest without guilt, to breathe without fear, to live without constant defense. The enemy has tried many times to convince you that you were alone, that you were insignificant, that your prayers disappeared into the air. Those were lies meant to isolate you. Isolation weakens the spirit. Connection revives it. God has always been your connection. Even when you felt nothing, He was near. Even when you doubted, He remained faithful. Even when you drifted, He kept the light on. You are not being brought back to where you were. You are being brought forward to where you were meant to be. This version of you is wiser, more aware, more grounded in truth. You have learned discernment through pain. You have learned humility through waiting. You have learned compassion through suffering. These are not losses. They are tools God will use through you. The days ahead will require steadiness. The world will continue to shake. Opinions will clash. Fear will spread. But those anchored in God will remain unshaken. That is what He is preparing you for. Not escape, but endurance. Not hiding, but standing firm. Not panic, but peace that surpasses understanding. Is this the same CIA brain ritual changing lives in seconds? A new leak reveals a powerful 7-second technique developed under secret research. Backed by neuroscience, people are moving from debt to wealth and luxury faster than believed possible. But this secret may be deleted soon. Click the link in the comments before it disappears. God is not asking you to fix yourself. He is asking you to stay close. Transformation happens in proximity. The closer you walk with Him, the more your thoughts change. The more your desires shift. The more your wounds heal. It is not instant, but it is certain. He finishes what He begins. There will be moments ahead where old patterns try to pull you back. Do not be surprised. Growth is often tested. When that happens, remember this moment. Remember how it felt to stay. Remember the calm that followed obedience. Remember the weight that lifted when you listened. God will remind you. His Spirit will guide you. You are not navigating this alone anymore. Your life still holds meaning beyond what you can see. There are conversations you will have that will change someone's direction. There are moments of kindness that will restore hope in others. There are prayers you will pray that will shift things you never witness. Your obedience reaches farther than your vision. God is shaping your inner world so your outer world can follow. He starts with the heart because that is where everything flows from. As your heart aligns with Him, your steps will follow naturally. You do not need to force righteousness. You walk with God, and righteousness becomes your path. This season is about belonging again, not belonging to systems or expectations, but belonging to God. When you belong to Him, you do not need to prove your worth. You do not need to earn love. You live from acceptance, not toward it. That changes everything. Stay attentive. Stay humble. Stay open. God speaks softly but clearly to those who remain near. He will guide you one step at a time. He will correct you when needed. He will comfort you when the weight feels heavy. He will protect you when you are unaware of danger. He will remain when others fade. You are no longer drifting. You are being led. You are no longer surviving. You are being restored. You are no longer overlooked. You are seen by the one who matters most. That is God reminding your soul that you still belong to Him, that you are not too far, and that this very moment is one of divine purpose. He is still calling, He is still speaking, and He is saying again, clearly and with urgency, do not skip this. Do not miss me. You have only moments left. The reason the words are piercing so deeply is because they are not just words, they are spirit, and they are life. The presence of God is speaking straight into the parts of you that have been neglected, ignored, or shut down. You've covered those places with distractions. You've avoided them because they're painful. But God is uncovering them now, not to shame you, but to heal you completely. This is not about behavior correction. This is about heart resurrection. There is a deep groaning in creation right now, and your soul feels it. You feel the shaking in the world, in your thoughts, in your atmosphere, and it is not your imagination. God is allowing everything that is not built on Him to be shaken, because He's making room for what is eternal. You are being invited to build your life on the only foundation that does not crack under pressure: His Word, His presence, His truth. Comment 222 if you trust that God is bringing you back to solid ground. You've been surrounded by so many opinions, social voices, spiritual confusion, expectations from others, and sometimes it gets loud enough that God's voice feels faint, but He is never drowned out. He waits until the right moment, and then He speaks clearly. That moment is now. That clarity is coming now. His voice is cutting through the fog, and you know it's Him because it's not pulling you with guilt. It's drawing you with love. He is not asking you to be fearless. He is asking you to be faithful. Faithful just to say yes again, to be honest again, to come close again, to whisper, God, I'm here. You may feel like you have nothing left to give, but what you do have, your honesty, your surrender, your fragile hope, is enough. He can work with your weakness. He can breathe on your small flame. He can carry you when you can't take one more step on your own.